Hey class, welcome back for Characterization Part 2. Last time we worked on identifying the ways Ray Bradbury, the author of All Summer and a Day, revealed the character traits of his main character Margot. He did this by discussing how she looks and dresses, how she speaks, her actions, her thoughts and feelings, and what others think and say about Margot. All of these techniques work to reveal the personality of Margot in this story. In order to find those things, you had to skim the story, looking for all the different ways that Ray Bradbury characterized Margot. You use blue to underline description, red to underline dialogue and thoughts, green to underline Margot's actions, and purple to underline how the other children reacted to Margot. Today, we're going to look over some of the items you should have found. You'll have a ton more than I'm showing you here. But if for some reason you missed these, feel free to add them to your story to make your notes even stronger. The first one is on the first page, 13th paragraph. It says, Margot stood apart. With this action, underlined in green, Margot seems to be shy. Or maybe it's just that she's not connecting with the other students, the other characters. So she stands by herself. This action tells us a little bit about Margot's personality by revealing her actions in relation to the other characters. Here's another place where Margot stands alone. That must be really important for us to understand, that she's a loner, since Ray Bradbury mentioned it to us twice. But let's look a little deeper at this paragraph. This next part reveals even more about her because it describes how she looks, which is why it's underlined in blue, because it's showing a description. It says, she was a very frail girl who looked as if she had been lost in the rain for years, and the rain had washed out the blue from her eyes, and the red from her mouth, and the yellow from her hair. Ugh, good imagery. She was an old photograph, dusted from an album, whitened away, and if she spoke at all, her voice would be a ghost. This gives us a little bit of an outward look or a picture of what she would look like, but I think it goes a little deeper. It gives us a deeper meaning into who she is. It's almost as if it's talking about her losing who she is. It says she's been lost in the rain and all the color has been washed away from her eyes and her mouth and her hair. It's almost as if she's faded into the background. Bradbury's use of the metaphor where it says she was an old photograph whitened away makes me think that she has a lack of personality or a lack of excitement for life, and this is all because she's lived on Venus where it has been raining for so long and she hasn't been able to see the sun. This description gives us a lot more background into who Margot is. But Margot's not the only one with actions. There are some places in this story where the characters react to who Margot is. Here's one, underlined in purple for a character's reaction to Margot, where one of the boys says, "Aw, you didn't write that," in response to her reading a poem she wrote about the sun. Here's another example of when another student is treating her poorly. "What are you looking at?" said William. Also underlined in purple because he's reacting to who she is. These reactions both reveal a sense of anger or viciousness on William's part. Why, you might ask? Well, it seems like William really hates Margot. Maybe he's jealous. Maybe he's jealous because she remembers seeing the sun, and he does not. Let's look at this a little deeper by looking at another part where the students react to who Margot is. It says, "And so the children hated her for all these reasons of big and little consequence. They hated her pale snow face, her waiting silence, her thinness, and her possible future." This reaction shows that the students have added all of Margot's negative responses and circumstances and are holding them against her, feeling that all of these reasons give them justification for hating her and treating her the way they do. All right, guys, now that you've had a chance to look over some of these ideas of who Margot is, I want you to go ahead and log into Google Classroom and find All Summer in a Day Characterization Synthesis. Answer both questions, but be sure to use your story packet to help provide textual evidence to support your answers. You want to make sure that you prove your answers are correct. All right, off you go, amazing readers. I'll see you next time.